So how are we doing? We doing good? I hope so. I'm stuck in traffic because, it's summertime in Ohio. It's construction season. And, yeah, that's just the way it is. So, I always want to make these videos, right? I want to talk about this subject or this subject or this. There's just so much bullshit going on right now. It's like, what do you talk about? Like, how do I narrow it down to exactly what I want to talk about, put out there. It's like, right now, what isn't going on? You got the shortages in baby formula, gas prices are over $5 a gallon now in Ohio. Like, it seems like every day they go up 5 to 10 cents. For somebody who drives as much as I do, that's fucking crazy. I used to be able to fill this van up for 30, 35 bucks. Now it's costing me 60, 65. Like, over Memorial Weekend, we went camping like we do every year, the whole family. And I drive a big conversion van because, I have a lot of kids. It cost me $106 or something to fill it up. And it still had a quarter of a tank in it. I want to say gas was like $4.65 or $4.75, somewhere around in there a gallon. If I filled it up today, it probably cost me like $130, maybe more. It's, oh man, I want to take my kids camping as much as possible, but now what? I got to take out a loan just for the gas to go there to a cabin that I own that costs me money all the time. I don't own it. Me and my dad split everything, but still, it costs me money. You got that and other food shortages. You got this whole debate over gun laws and Biden. What the fuck, man? Like, the complete, utter stupidity from the top of our government down. Like, there's no logic to anything anymore. It's all about, like, we're going to push logic and common sense out the window because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. We don't want to trigger people's emotions. Get the fuck out of here, right? Like, whatever happened to sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Whatever happened to shit happening to you builds character. That's how you build people. The trials and tribulations you go through in life is what make you who you are. If you're constantly sheltered from these things, who are you gonna be? A whiny little bitch who can't handle problems, who can't handle anything that doesn't go your way. Case in point, everything that happens nowadays. Like, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that, you can't, you gotta put trigger warnings in front of shit so in case people are gonna get upset, they can walk away, right? Everybody's got a point of privilege type shit. It's like, what the fuck? And then on top of that, every time that, I don't know what, like, do they, like, when they're writing his speeches, like, does he find a point that he likes and he just sticks to that point? Like, when he was running, every speech that he had that had to do with the pandemic was like, I'm worried about that empty chair across from the dinner table. Them empty chairs all across the country at the dinner table. And he just repeated that over and over and over. And now with the whole gun laws thing, he's like, the Second Amendment, when they wrote it, it didn't say you can own any gun you want. You couldn't go buy a cannon. Well, no, obviously you didn't read it. Because what it says is, like, you have a right to bear arms, to have a militia in case the government gets too big for itself. That way the people could defend themselves against the government. That's what it said. And over the years, if you did certain things or if you were mentally unstable, of course you shouldn't have a gun. If you're a violent criminal, of course you shouldn't have a gun, right? I'm not a violent criminal, but I can't have a gun because I'm a felon. Because I fucked up when I was in my early 20s and got in trouble. Did some time in jail. Like, it happens, right? Like, I've been way up here as a young person. Like, everybody said, oh, you got all your shit going for you, and then I found something I really liked, and it fucking shit got fucked up. And then I went in and out of jail. And then I got clean and then fucking built myself back up again. You know what? And that made me who I am. Because I went through bullshit and came out okay on the other side. Obviously not everybody can do that, but that's the way it is. But always this whole talk about cannons. I don't know how many speeches I've seen this guy do where he says the same shit. You couldn't own a cannon. You can't own a cannon now either, right? That's like putting that in today's thing is like saying like, yeah, you got a right to a gun, but you can't get an RPG. Of course not, right? You could go buy a muzzle loader. You could get a 6-shooter, a Colt 45, right? The repeating rifles when those come out, you could buy those all you wanted. Of course you couldn't get a cannon. Of course not. What the fuck? But you know, it is what it is. And it's almost like as soon as one of these shootings, like the whole thing in Texas, which is horrible, like as soon as one of these happen, it seems like there's 2 or 3 more in succession, and then we start the debate all over again. And this is what it happens. And it's almost like you can put a pin in it, like, oh, it's about to happen here. Oh, November's coming. Put a pin in it. We need some, bullshit happening. Like, if you pay attention to what's going on around you, a lot of times people will say after it happened, like, oh, I should have seen that coming because, he was like this way. And a lot of times when like it's thwarted and people try, somebody tells, and that's really what you need, is somebody to see the signs and then say, no, so-and-so is unstable and he said he was going to shoot up the school, or he said he wanted this person dead or something. Like, yeah, it's not always easy to see those signs, but when you see them, you have to see them, and you have to say something. I mean, it's just, you just kind of have to, or else bad shit will happen, It's not about being a snitch, it's about saving people's lives, making sure bad shit doesn't happen. But anyways, yeah, I mean, there's just so much nonsense going on around out there. It's like, I don't even know what to talk about or say anymore. It's like, how do you, and then as you notice, I have this problem of just going on these rants, and I won't make any point, and then I'll just move on to the next thing, because I have a bad habit of just rambling on shit, and on and on and on. So, yeah. What do you want me to talk about? Put shit in the comments, man. Nothing is off limits. I'm open fucking book as much as possible. Whatever you want to know, throw it in there. You want to know about my time in jail? Sure. You want to know what happened? Sure. Like, I've had so many of my friends die due to, suicide, drug overdose. Half the neighborhood I grew up in, they're gone, I've buried way too many of my friends growing up. And the stories behind some of them are just ridiculous. Like I had a daughter. I did find out that she was like 2.5 years old, that she really wasn't mine. And I still picked up her and her sister, which I knew wasn't my kid, but she was little when me and her mom got together. Not even a year old. And for 3 years, I was her dad. So it was like, I wasn't going to just walk away one day, just disappear on them. So I still picked them up and spent time with them a lot. And then little by little, it got less and less and less. These things happen, but all these things that happen that, like, you think, like, oh, this is the end, how can I go on? Like, it passes, and it makes you who you are. In some cases, it might make you a better, stronger person. And in some cases, if you let it, it'll break you down and turn you into a psychopath. But you can't let that shit happen. But yeah, just let me know, man. I mean, I know it's a short video. I just kind of rambled on about nothingness. But let me know. You want to talk about stupid government? You want to talk about, like, the way they're trying to destroy women's sports because of inclusivity, or whatever the fuck you want to say it? Sure, whatever you want to talk about. And actually, that's a good point. Let me clarify that. See, you got this chick who's trans, still has a CAC, and she's breaking all these swimming records. I can't even think of her name right now. Breaking all these swimming records at college, right? Winning all this stuff. But when she was a man, competing with men, she was like 460th in the country. And then the next year, she's like, oh, I grew my hair long and I'm taking hormones, so now I'm a chick. And now she's beating everybody, right? Well, if everybody does that, and it's going to happen, right? Because this is how it happens. You find that loophole. Like, it's going to happen. Then what about the real women? The naturally born women who bust their ass and work super, super hard, and now they can't win anymore? Like, it's like now you're making it unfair to them to make it fair for somebody else who has an advantage, a distinct advantage. Like, it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I'm not saying these people shouldn't be able to compete, but maybe have, you know, you have men's soccer, you have women's soccer, maybe you have trans soccer. Why not? Just like trans men and women versus each other. It's like, I don't know, why not? I don't know. Or you have, I mean, there's co-ed soccer too, so why can't they just compete in the co-ed, not just the women's? Because they want to be the best of the best. I don't know, but that's just kind of the way I see it. Like, then you're going to have naturally born women who stay natural women, not wanting to compete anymore because it's not fair. It's like, oh, I can't win because I can't beat her, him, her, they, them, whoever the fuck, right? It's not cool. It's like when my son tried out for the basketball team and him and his friend didn't make it. They were joking, but they're like, hey, we'll try out for the girls team. We'll just say we're girls now. Like, no. Like, they were joking, but how many people are not going to be joking when they do that? Right? Like, you know what? I can't make it as a man, so now let me try it as a woman, and I'll dominate. Is that fair? I don't think so. But other people are like, yeah, it's fair. You got to be inclusive. And, you know, that's my point of view. So, yeah, leave a comment. You can even be daring and subscribe, because I'll be back. Let me know. So, yeah, I'll be back soon. You guys take it easy.